Hello, welcome to Brown Dog Gadgets Live. I'm Amanda, the Education Outreach Coordinator here at Brown Dog Gadgets. Behind the camera, I've got Josh.
Heyo.
Today, we're going to move on. Thank you. Today, we are going to be building the Love Monster, which is a fun spinning circuit for Valentine's Day. But before that, if you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, and YouTube. Also, the template for this project, as well as all of our other projects, products, and guides, can be found at browndoggadgets.com. And then if you have any questions while we're streaming, feel free to chat with us. Otherwise, you can always email us at help@browndoggadgets.com. Awesome. All right. Josh, this monster's green, so we're going to just switch to the overhead cam. Yeah.
Not easy being green, Amanda.
That's true. So we got this little spiral right here, and it hits a switch. Yay. Or you can color one in, and there's that guy. I took a lot of time coloring this.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good use of your time here at work.
I think it was a great use of my time. Yeah. So for this project, you do have two templates. You can use either the black and white version or the version that's already in color. But then you also are going to need the template back. So this should not be printed double-sided. This is two single-sided prints because you're going to create a layered project. I would highly suggest printing on heavier cardstock, as we do with most of our projects, just because you want to make sure it can stand up to the circuitry. So here's our project, already cut out, looking fabulous. All right, so the circuit is actually super basic. It is just a simple circuit with a switch. We are going to use a little bit of hot glue to hold our motor in place today. You can use hot glue, you can use double-sided foam tape. That is up to you. I like the security that comes with a little bit of hot glue.
Or as they call it in other countries, melt glue.
Ooh.
I learned that one.
How long ago?
People. I don't know. I don't know about time anymore. It's all an illusion.
It is true. It's true. So I'm putting a little bit of hot glue right in that that square in the middle, and then I'm sticking my barrel motor down so the end with the wires is in that hot glue. Now I do have the blue wire going towards letter A and the red wire going towards letter D. The only thing that is going to change if you have them opposite is it will change the direction of the spinning heart on top. It will still work. If you want it to spin a specific direction, I suggest testing it out first, but I don't really care. So we're going to just do it. Now we're going to build our circuit with maker tape. If you've never used maker tape before, this is some great stuff. It is nylon conductive tape. It is the far superior cousin to copper foil tape. Copper foil tape rips really easily. It's not Z-axis conductive. It's a mess to use in the classroom. Whereas maker tape is not a mess to use, and it is a lot easier.
Hey Amanda, that's a cool tape holder. Where did you get that at?
Oh, here. It's not the answer you wanted, though. If you want to print your own tape holder, this is a 3D printed file that's on our website, so you can actually have all your tape in one place and not unravel on you. I've got a smaller one somewhere, too.
And it works with most tape rolls you have. If you have other ones off of Amazon or even old copper foil ones, it'll most likely work with all of those.
All right, so I am going to make sure that I'm doing the sandwich method with my wires, which means I'm going to put a layer of maker tape underneath the wire and then another layer over the top of the wire. I want to make sure it makes a solid connection, and I don't want to have to peel my project apart to figure out why things aren't working later. So I'm just going to troubleshoot that right away and make sure I've got that sandwich method going on. Then, to hold my battery in place, I'm going to use about 1 inch worth of maker tape, and I'm going to roll it up with the sticky side out, just like the back of a poster, nice tight tape loop. And I'm going to put that right on top of my pathway there, and that's what's going to hold my battery in place. Always want the positive side of the battery facing up. We'll push it down on there. Then we'll continue with our paths. So I've got path C here, which is from the top of the battery over to my swirl here. This is where our switch is going to activate. And then before I make my switch, I'm going to do the same thing for the other wire, doing that sandwich method again. So one piece of maker tape underneath the wire, then the wire, and another piece over the top. And then really making sure that you get it nice and right next to that wire. And then we need a switch for this because we don't want the heart to just spin constantly. That would not make sense.
I mean, it'd be fun.
It'd be interesting. So we're going to make this switch just like the normal switches that we've used. We're going to wrap some maker tape around the back and then bring it around to the front. And we'll have a little bit hanging off the top to connect it. We'll bend at that dotted line so it doesn't touch when it's down. And I want to make sure that this pad of maker tape that we have here connects with this pathway here. And then my tail up here connects with the pathway at the top. So then, when that switch comes in contact, our motor spins. If at this point your motor doesn't spin when you actually make that connection, don't keep going. Troubleshoot, figure out what's wrong. See if maybe you've got, your pathways aren't correct, maybe something's not meeting, it's a little too short, but make sure you make that fix before you finish the project because it's not gonna help if you just leave it alone. And then we're going to use a little bit of double-sided foam tape to raise up the top layer of this project. I have the square one in here today, Josh. I don't even know, what do we use this one for?
Solar science stations.
Sure. All right, so I'm going to put a piece of double-sided foam tape on each of the 4 squares around the edge. And this is just going to give it that distance so it's not fighting with the height of the battery. And then it's not constantly activating the switch.
Hey Amanda, if people were in short supply of thick foam tape,
Yeah.
could they just use maybe like 1 or 2 pieces of cardboard?
Sure.
Like little squares of cardboard hot glued down or Elmer glued down.
That sounds great.
Oh, I'm just all full of great solutions today.
I guess so. All right, so we've got the top layer. Oh, you get applause.
I know.
Wow.
You did such a good job. The people are happy.
Wow. All right, so we've got our top layer or our bottom layer complete. We're going to add our top layer and notice that the hole in the middle of the monster is cut out because we're going to have our motor go right through that hole. And then we'll push down on that foam tape. So you can see we've got that nice layer there, and then when I actually push on the switch, it activates it. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to add our heart to our barrel motor. Now I do want to make sure I'm being careful with this because I don't want the hot glue to hit both parts of this motor. If it does, it's not going to spin. So instead of putting the hot glue directly on the motor, I'm going to put it on the heart, and I'm going to kind of angle it as I put it on to make sure I can watch that that hot glue is not going too low. This is another spot where you definitely could use double-sided foam tape. I've done it before. Like I said before, it's just not as sturdy, which is fine. Doesn't have to be. All right. And it's fairly dry. It might just go spinning off because I didn't let it dry long enough, but it looks fine. And then, there we go. There is my
guess what, Amanda?
love monster. What, Josh?
We had a
Yay! Thanks, Sandra.
somebody who wasn't Pete or
Wasn't
Mike
Pete
Cotterman.
or Mike Cotterman.
I know it's
Welcome.
Thanks, Sandra, for being so
Yeah.
awesome and chiming in today.
I do enjoy him. There's something about this little face that like makes me happy. Awesome. So this is our love monster, just in time for Valentine's Day. Just a really fun project to be able to do with paper circuits, and a little bit different than the normal having LEDs, which we've got lots of those projects where something lights up, but spinning always is a little more engaging in my book. Awesome. Tomorrow, we are doing the 8-Bit Love cube.
A cube, you say?
I do.
That's 3 dimensions of fun.
It is 3 dimensions. And then Thursday, if you tried to join us last Thursday and really wanted to see the step sequencer, we did delay that one, so we'll be doing the step sequencer with Microbit this Thursday. So please definitely check those out. Also, if you have not followed us on our social media platforms, you can do so on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, and YouTube.
Hey, Amanda, before you go.
Hey, Josh.
Like all the cool messages in today.
Yeah?
From people who are not Pete and Mike.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Anne. Welcome from Thailand. That's awesome. Yay.
I know, it's so nice when people chime in who are...
I really appreciate it because I think people are watching, but I don't know for sure.
Also, Thailand, so fun to visit.
I've never been. I would love to.
Maybe if I had a teaching conference there and enjoy all the mango rice we could ever
Ooh,
want
that
to.
sounds delicious.
It is a delicious country.
A delicious country.
It
Perfect.
really is.
Also, reminder that the templates for these projects are up on our website. You do not need to log in. The templates themselves are free. So you can go and print those off and use them at your leisure. Please print them on heavier cardstock, though, because it really does need a little bit of heft to hold up to the circuitry.
The Josh recommendation on heavy paper.
Yeah.
So here, at least in the U.S., we use, here in our shop, we use 100-pound glossy cardstock. I usually tell teachers that your standard inkjet printer gets really unhappy about 50-pound cardstock. The paper starts to horribly curl when it comes out because it has to go all through the mix. So like 30 to 40 pounds-ish is good. And if you really want to, like a FedEx or Kinko's or whatnot, or heavier paper works great on copy machines at schools. We can like feed it in. It has less curvy go-through stuff happening. But yeah, don't use an inkjet printer with 100-pound glossy cardstock.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant.
It isn't.
No.
It's unfortunate.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Good tip, Josh.
I try.
Yep, so definitely go print those templates out, try them out. They're so much fun. Look at his cute little face. So cute. Other than that, oh, and if you have any questions, feel free to email us at help@browndoggadgets.com, and Josh will get back to you. It goes directly to Josh.
It does.
It does. Yep. Awesome. Hopefully you'll join us tomorrow when we make our 8-Bit Love Cube, and you're like Sandra and Anne, and say hi to us while we're here. Awesome. That's all I've got for you today. We hope you'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media @browndoggadgets. We'll see you next time.